It's time for Real Talk. Movies. Everyone loves them. And opinions, everyone has them. But your opinion is the one that matters. Real Talk allows you to become the film critic. So let's see if we agree on a film, or do we agree to disagree? Thanks for joining us on the Daily Journal's Real Talk. I'm Pamela Powell. December looks like quite the overwhelming month, with so many movies being released that you might not know which one to choose. However, Mark Mesrimas and I have a list for you, from independent little sleeper hits to big films that are going to probably be blockbusters. Mark, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me. 'Tis the season to be joyful for a moviegoer. There are so many choices, and I think my number one I want to see is Joy, because it's David O. Russell. And he brings back the cast of Silver Linings Playbook. We've got Jennifer Lawrence, we've got Robert De Niro, we've got Bradley Cooper, but the centerpiece here is Jennifer Lawrence as this frustrated housewife who discovers a miracle mop. As you know David O. Russell, you know the script is going to be crisp, great dialogue. He brings out the best in actors. He uses music very well, and he balances comedy and drama. So very excited with Joy. December 25th.
December 25th, very good. Lots of films coming out on December 25th. Another film on my list is The Hateful Eight, which I'm shocked about because I am not a huge Quentin Tarantino fan. However, this looks like a very interesting compilation of characters put together in a very cold and snowy blizzard trying to find shelter. And these are bounty hunters. It sounds a little bit like Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, a very dialogue-driven film. If you don't live in a town that does have 70mm film, you might not be able to see it until January 8th.
My second film is The Revenant, and it's directed by, you're going to help me, Alejandro
Iñárritu.
Yes, who is the best director. Great job. Best director for Birdman. He just won the Oscar, so he's got a new film. Simply, DiCaprio is a fur trader who gets brutally attacked by a bear, and he is trying to survive, and his comrades leave him for dead, led by Thomas Hardy. So it's a tale of survival and revenge in the cold wilderness. It looks like a great adventure.
And that one is on my list as well. In addition to that, I am also looking forward to In the Heart of the Sea, starring one of my favorite actors, Chris Hemsworth. And I'm sure he's also somebody else's favorite actor as well. He's on many women's lists.
My wife.
Yeah, there you go. And Ron Howard is the director of this film. They're paired together again as they were in Rush, one of my top picks of films a couple of years ago. And it looks like it's a reenactment from a story from 1820 that took place, a real story about this large whale that actually inspired Moby Dick, written by Herman Melville. And that comes out on December 11th.
I think the holiday season's a good time for comedies. We have two to pick from. One is Sisters with Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. It's rated R. And the other one is Daddy's Home with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. PG, a little more family friendly. So I'm going to go with the family friendly. Will Ferrell's kind of a mild-mannered guy, a radio exec who wants to be the best stepdad to his wife's children. But a curveball arrives when Mark Wahlberg, the real dad, who is freewheeling and freeloading, shows up and then becomes the competition with the kids, who's going to be the best dad. Opens December 25th.
Another film opening on December 25th that is not lighthearted is Concussion, starring Will Smith. And he plays a forensic neuropathologist and is looking at the NFL and all of these players who are having difficulties with concussions and the long-term effects from these, including Parkinson's and other degenerative neurological diseases. I think it's going to be enlightening, informative, and it has Will Smith in it, so I'm really thinking that it's going to be entertaining as well.
Yeah, very topical film.
Yes. Now we have some lighthearted or maybe some sleeper hits.
Sleeper hits. I'm going to go, I had the pleasure of screening this movie early, and I think you did.
Right.
My choice is Youth, and it's a film with Michael Caine and Harvey Keitel. And they're kind of aging old friends, and they're on holiday in the Alps. It's very beautifully filmed, and some of the scenes are like postcards.
Oh, yeah.
They are so beautiful. And I'm going to predict on your show, I see an Oscar nomination for Michael Caine, and he could be a front runner here. Maybe Harvey Keitel in a supporting role, but Michael Caine is so good in Youth. I hope people go to see it and they take a chance. Probably won't show up till January.
Right. And I completely agree with that. In fact, we had to kind of fight over our lists when we gave it to each other. You know, we were trying to pick our lists.
I stole your movie.
You did, but that's okay. I'll give it to you as long as we're publicizing it.
But you have another good one.
I do. From the Toronto International Film Festival is The Lady in the Van, starring Maggie Smith. And she is a very unlikely character. She's a little odoriferous. She is a transient who lives in her van, which is not very attractive in this very lovely neighborhood in England. And the relationships that she has with the different neighbors, and the writer, director, playwright who actually almost takes her into his driveway anyway. That's as far as things go. It's a beautiful story about friendship and relationships that is hilarious and heartfelt, all wrapped into one. I predict an Oscar nod for Maggie Smith for this one. And that's it for Real Talk. You have our recommendations for the month of December. Be sure to check out the Daily Journal for more information about all of these movies and a few more that we'll add to the list. Until next week, when Stephen Benoit joins me to talk about Victor Frankenstein, Mark, that's a wrap.
We'll see you at the movies.